There can also be contestations about forms of marriage being legitimated by state systems and religious systems. So, for example, in the history of Indonesia, very big debates about the role of Islam in structuring not only patterns of marriage and inheritance, but also when things go wrong, like relations of divorce, patterns of rape, etc. So, in international and in regional and international fora, we also witness intense and sometimes very fraught debates about gender equality in the context of domestic life, work, political representation and religious expression. So I'm referring here to those kinds of debates that go on in UN circuits, but also engage a whole range of civil society actors, NGOs, etc. Now, the problem of gender violence is the subject of particular global concern. Now, I'm wanting to follow a very influential author by the name of Sally Ingle-Mary, some of whose work we circulated to you, in conceptualising gender violence as any act of violence where the gender of the parties is implicated. So, importantly, this is a much broader concept than just violence against women, since it also embraces violence against men and against transgender people. It's also a much broader concept than domestic violence, since it includes violence beyond the household. It can include violence between people of the same sex and not just between opposite sexes. It can include, in certain contexts, the violence of parents and other adults against children. It extends then from acts of violence against intimate partners and family members to such acts in the context of ethnic conflicts and wars, the sexual abuse, torture and rape, which often accompanies acts of wounding, military murder and summary execution. And in fact, when I came back from a conference in Perth last night, I watched a documentary on television which was about the present alleged atrocities that have happened against Tamils in Sri Lanka. So it's very important, I think, to think about gender violence as something that covers this whole spectrum from microcosmic to macrocosmic relations. Now, like all violence, gender violence raises profound ethical and political questions about our shared humanity. The study of gender violence in particular raises sharp questions about how we confront cultural and national differences. How do we reconcile the norms of an international system of justice predicated on notions of universal